I'm going to ask you about Aaron Rodgers right out the gate. Rumors are, and it's come out that he's on another ayahuasca retreat instead of attending mandatory minicamp. He already had an ayahuasca retreat in Costa Rica a couple months ago. Is this a big deal, Matt, or no deal?
Yeah, it's a big fucking deal, bro. If we're going to sit here, I know one's a college player and one's a pro, but if we're going to sit here and criticize Shador and like all these other cats for doing anything at all.
Good point.
Then yeah, I would hope that that we're holding 8 over the fire. Now I know he's 40 years old and he's a fucking weirdo, and he's out just hammering hallucinogens right now in a dark room, like trying to figure out how to complete a ball. But yeah, I'm really as a former Jet, like I think this is some played out bitch shit. Period. Like I'm sorry, but Aaron Rodgers, there's a reason you've lost 5 NFC title games. There's a reason you're only an MVP and not really. You're a one-time Super Bowl champion. Congratulations. It's Aaron Rodgers is one of the most selfish players in NFL history. He's always been this guy. And this, I'm sorry, but when the mandatory minicamp is, and that is literally the only fucking thing you need to show up to. And he came to all the OTAs and acted like team guy and Jets this, Jets that, and then he couldn't reschedule his tripping session. I mean, come on, dog. I've eaten mushrooms too. They're fun, but I'm not going to go miss mandatory minicamp. And then the other thing is, there's 2 sets of rules shit. I understand that we're all different, but we're not. We're all the same, but we're a little different. I get it. They're not going to treat Aaron Rodgers like they treat some rookie. But it's just at some point everybody else in the room is going to be like, "What the fuck, man?" I mean, the rules don't apply to this fucking guy apparently. Okay,
I think you touched on it and you made my point for me. And Smitty, you got a schedule after spring ball for the summer. You knew when to be back at Ball State for summer ball. You knew when your family reunions, your weddings, whatever went around that schedule. This is the NFL, man. This is the men's league, gentlemen, we're discussing here. Like, your schedule. And
he's about to get how much time off? Let's be real.
That's what I'm saying.
They negotiated so much fucking time off, and everybody's going home right now. OTA's in. It's over for 5 weeks. You go home, and then you go back to camp. He can't go trip in July. You can't go trip for July 4th, homie. And I'm tired of this, he's going to ayahuasca. He's going to eat mushrooms and drink tea and sit in a fucking room and trip his balls off and laugh. Come on.
Let me ask you this.
I know psychedelics are good for mental healing and whatnot, but anybody that's eating mushrooms, you just laugh your balls off and it's a reset and you move on. Like, come on, quit trying to scientifically put something on this all the time.
Smitty, let me ask you,
motherfucker, you're eating mushrooms.
Let me ask you this, Smitty. If he doesn't win another one, are you going to look back, though, at this set of events and say, this is why Tom Brady was the GOAT. This is why Aaron Rodgers will never be put in that conversation. He couldn't even win a second one, and there's a bunch of laundry list items that stacked up, as Matt talks about all the time on this show. Shit starts to stack up. It becomes old and stale, and it's like the same old shit. And why is it a double standard? Why are you okay, but I'm building this culture over here with a bunch of talent, by the way, maybe the most talented, rich roster in football, and yet we can't get over the hump. Either you're going to blame the head coach, Robert Saleh, again, or you're going to blame all the shit we discussed about on this show about what's wrong in leadership at the New York Jets. Because there's obviously some sort of leadership role there happening or not happening. So I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, I think when you lose, everyone's going to point out every single thing that he's did wrong in the offseason or during the season that could contribute to it. But like we always say, winning solves all too. So it's like if he goes out here and they win the division, they make it to an AFC championship, somewhere the Jets hasn't been since 2009, 2010, if I'm not mistaken, when Mark Sanchez was there, then I think the conversation may be different. I don't know. Some people think it's Super Bowl or bust for the Jets. I personally don't have it in that category because the AFC is fucking loaded and this team is super talented, but they're unproven still. Talent is one thing. Everybody's talented in the NFL, but you got to go out there and show me. So at the end of the day, talent and looking good on paper doesn't mean anything.
Well,
so for me, I don't have a Super Bowl or bust because I know the AFC is fucking loaded, but a lot of people do. So I think, yeah, if you go out there and they lose in the divisional round or some shit like that, people are going to go out there, probably people on this show, JB, and say, you know what? If he didn't go on that little dark retreat, they probably would have won the game. I don't correlate the two together, but
Matt, I got a great segue for you. This is probably Bailey. Pull up the Chiefs' latest issue. This is probably the 7th off-season issue in the Kingdom fan base. And Matt, this isn't getting 1/8 of the notification or notoriety that Aaron Rodgers is getting for being at a ayahuasca retreat. Because, to Smitty's point and your point, Matt, just win, baby. The Chiefs win. Guess what? Throw all this shit under the fucking rug.
Well, who
second,
is that?
This is the D lineman Bugs, who just had his 2nd domestic violence charge in a matter of 2 weeks.
Yeah, but the only reason it's not a story is because no one has a fucking clue who that is.
And
I think he's like practice. To Matt's point, I think he's like practice squad. He's not even like a starter. I think they signed the practice squad. He's like,
I sincerely doubt he'll be on the roster if he's got this much.
Right. And listen, that's not my whole point to this. To make to your point is there's a reason why Aaron Rodgers is more in the news than the whole Chiefs offseason. Like, think about what they've had happen there. Rashee Rice, their best receiver. You've had the whole fucking – how many other issues have the Chiefs had this offseason that we're like, damn, another one? Butker, you had the Harrison Butker deal that went viral because he talked about women at the house. And you've had just the Chiefs in the news in this whole offseason is my point.
Yeah, but none of the news has been negative about Kelsey or Mahomes or Chris Jones. So as long as those three aren't the ones fucking up, the Chiefs will be fine.
Just win, baby.